Last but not least, the foot. And the foot has almost the same structure or arrangement as the hand. So this is not going to be easy. New for you. It's going to be easy, but not new for you. So we're going to have three different sections. Remember in the hand it was carpal, metacarpal, and phalanges. On your foot is with a T, tarsals, metatarsals, and phalanges. Isn't that easy? Okay, 7 tarsal bones. We have one less uh, than the carpal bones. The one forming, which is the biggest one, forming the heel, touch your heel, the heel of your foot, that's the calcaneus. This in purple. Superior to that, we're going to find the talus. Anterior to the talus, the navicular. Anterior to the navicular, three cuneiform bones. We have the medial cuneiform, the intermediate cuneiform, and the lateral cuneiform. And lateral to the lateral cuneiform, we're going to find the cuboid, which articulates posteriorly with the calcaneus. This is the puzzle that you need to put together. Of course, keep in mind that your heel is posterior. I think this is obvious. Your phalanges point anteriorly, and importantly, that your big toe it points medially in your body and in the picture, and the fifth toe laterally. So you know that this cuneiform is the medial and this one is the lateral cuneiform. Okay, the metatarsals. The metatarsals make the bulk of your foot, and just like on the metacarpals, we have five, one per each toe. So we have this is the first, the second, the third, the fourth, and the fifth. Do you remember that when we were describing the hand, we said that we start naming the metacarpals from lateral to medial, the first, second, third, fourth, and fifth. In your foot, you start medial to lateral, okay? Easy way to remember this, always start with the big, your thumb or the big toe, okay? That's the first. And the pinky and the fifth toe is the fifth metacarpal and the fifth toe. Distal to the metatarsals, we're going to find the phalanges. And the phalanges are exactly the same as we described on the hand. We have all of the digits from the first to the fifth digit. All of them has proximal and distal phalanges, but only the second, third, fourth, and fifth digit have middle phalanges. How do you name these phalanges? For example, let's say that I have, let me choose this one. I have something, I don't know, a fracture in these phalanx. So you say I have, or the patient has, a fracture on the proximal phalanx of the fourth toe, the fourth digit, or in the fourth proximal phalanx. Okay, this will be, it has a fracture in the distal first phalanx, and so forth. Okay, just remember that there's no middle phalanx on the hallux. Remember, hallux, the big toe. Now, to finish talking about the foot and about the appendicular skeleton, I want to talk to you a little bit about the arches of the foot. And since the foot consists not in just one bone but different tarsal bones, in order for the body to support, or actually in order for the foot to be able to support your body weight, we need an arch. Okay, so that's why we have several arches on the foot. When you leave your footprints, or when you see your foot, you can see that medially is more elevated. This arch is taller than the one on the lateral side of your foot. These arches are created just like it says in here, the interlocking shapes of the tarsal bones, they fit perfectly together, forming this puzzle, and that elevate the foot from the floor in certain areas. It's supported by the ligaments that are keeping these joints between the tarsal bones and the metatarsals together, but it's also supported by the action of the tendons and the muscles. That, remember, a tendon is just the attachment, the distal is the attachment of a muscle to a bone. So these tendons give some resilience or elasticity to these arches, are the ones that spring back after you put you place your weight on top of your foot. The action of the tendons spring back the foot at the arches. So we have three different arches. The tallest of all, and I think that is obvious when you see your foot, is a longitudinal, the medial longitudinal arch. So let me start saying that we have two longitudinal arches and one transverse, okay? From the longitudinal arches, the blue one is pointing to the medial longitudinal arch, which is the tallest one. It's the one that doesn't leave a print when you press firmly your foot on the floor. It runs from the calcaneus to the tarsal bones and to the first three metatarsals. Laterally to that, we have this is the lateral longitudinal arch. And as you can see, it's lower than the blue one, lower than the medial, and it goes again from the calcaneus just to the fifth metatarsal. And then perpendicular to these arches, we have the transverse arch that runs on a diagonal following all the articulations between the tarsals and metatarsal bones. The thing about the arch is that these arches, or the way they are created in your foot, makes the body to distribute your body weight when you're walking, when you're standing, half in the calcaneus and half in the head of the metatarsals. So that's when we're placing half of our body weight, half in here, half in here. So this concludes the appendicular skeleton. I need you to know this very well, to master all of these concepts of the entire skeleton, the action of the appendicular, because guess what? We're going to use it. We're going to use it in the next chapter to describe the joints, and in the following chapter to describe the muscles that are attaching to all of these surfaces that we're going to describe on the lab. Okay, on these bones, but on the lab. So see you in the next chapter, which is chapter 9, the joints.